Hello, students. This is your instructor, Molly McCloy, and as promised, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to develop your topic sentences and your examples for the analysis. So, I know I've commented on a few of your papers that if you are going to discuss pathos, what you're really talking about is emotional appeals. So, you're talking about the artist or the writer or whoever is producing the text that you're examining. You're talking about that person inspiring an emotion in what we would call the viewer, if it were a piece of visual artwork, or the listener, if we're talking about a song, or what you can refer to as the reader, if you're talking about a piece of writing. So that's also a good thing to keep in mind, is that you might be talking about yourself, but you're also talking about sort of this entity that we call the reader or the listener or whoever is responding to the piece. So we're concerned with that person's emotional state. Not only how does the singer feel singing this song, how does the songwriter feel, how does the persona in the song feel. What we're primarily concerned about is how the language or the setup or anything that's going on in the text that you're looking at, how that makes the person interacting with the text feel. So you got to identify an emotion, which is sometimes hard for academics to do because we talk about our brains and not our hearts a whole lot. So anyway, this is a lot of my voice in a blank page. So I'm just going to show you my free writing and trying to get some emotion words that I want to talk about when I'm talking about the song Respect as written by Otis Redding and as sung by Aretha Franklin. So let's just take a look at what I did in my free writing, if this will let me do this. Yes, it will. I've got this asking for what you want, injustice to justice. It's a kind of this empowerment thing, being seen, being fulfilled versus being needy. Because basically, this is a song, somebody's saying, I'm asking for what I want here, right? That's the whole song about respect. What I want, this is what I need. Um, and then also, it's a lot about expression. It's about the fact that she's even willing to say these things and make these demands. This is what I want. This is what I need. Give it to me. And so a lot of it's about sort of this bravery of expression, a little bit of optimism going on, courage, those things. So I'm getting some of those emotional words down too. And then I'm starting to kind of work out some sentences, some ideas. Well, at first, you know, it seems a little frustrating. She's going to give all of her money, and all she's asking is for a little bit of respect. Seems like kind of a bad bargain. But then eventually you start realizing, hey, she's not really asking, she's demanding. And I want to show that idea to you in a little more detail here. So, um, just that's my whole paragraph. I don't want to go there yet. Just to remind you, this was my thesis, and my thesis is basically, hey, this is about empowerment, it's about equality, even for an audience now, because we can still identify with that. And I've set up my map here, pathos, ethos, logos. We're going to go into pathos first. So, and then this is the quote that I'm mostly going to be dealing with. Okay, so let's go and take a look at what I'm actually going to do with it. And I'm not going to go through this word by word because trust me, you probably even want to hit the little cog and sort of speed up my talking on this. But um, what I want to do is get my topic sentence out there, and I should have the word pathos in it. And according to my map, this will be my first paragraph, my first body paragraph where I'm working out examples, and I want to show pathos. And I'm getting some emotional words in here already. She's enthusiastic when she's singing. She's singing about her compromises, which is kind of logical, but there's a little bit of emotion about unfairness there. And then it's also she's brave as she's spelling out her needs. She literally spells out the word respect, R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Um, so this is what I'm working out. I'm saying, at first I'm feeling like, hey, she's going to give all of her money and she's just going to get a little bit of respect. She's just going to get her propers when she comes home. And so at first you're thinking, wow, she's not asking for much. And you could probably do a logic paragraph on that actually, right? She's getting the reader to think, hey, she's not doing anyone wrong and she's not asking for much, so maybe we should give it to her. And that's kind of a logic thing. But I'm working with emotions here, and the first emotion is like, hey, maybe she's not asking for enough. But then you start realizing she may be using the word asking. There's not a single question mark or question in the song. In fact, there are several commands, right? Give it to me, and then eventually sock it to me and whip it to me, which are a little strange and might deserve a little bit more analysis than I've done here, but that's probably for another paper. Anyway, So if she's making commands, there's not a single question. She may be saying a little bit of respect, but she is demanding it. And so I think the effect on the listener at this point, then, when you're hearing this song, is that it's eventually sort of exciting. This is a song everybody sings along with. Give me a little bit of respect. And that's probably because a lot of people feel like they've made compromises or they're being taken advantage of. And here's somebody that's daring to demand that to be rectified, to get justice and fairness and respect. And so my idea of pathos is that it's sort of exciting to listen to somebody bravely demanding respect. So remember, if you're examining pathos, just remember that you need to identify an emotion and you need to show how the creator of the text is sort of inspiring that emotion in whoever is reading it or viewing it or listening to it. So, and then also work out examples using the wording or the arguments or the progression or the organization of the text to show how that emotion gets created and gets inspired. Hopefully this was helpful for you in sort of working out your examples a little bit more. You'll notice that I did an in-text citation for Reading because that's who wrote the song, and that's sort of how you guys want to do your in-text citations too. If you have a page number, you also want to include that. All right, best of luck. I'm excited to see the final drafts. Just do your best and get that paper in. All right, take care.